Welcome back to your home of hopium-free crypto and economic market cycle updates. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are around this beautiful planet of ours. In this video, we're looking at no new all-time highs for crypto and Bitcoin. Yes, my YouTube titles bring all the boys to the yard and they're triggered at mine. I can teach you TA, but I have to charge. But not today, not in today's video. All right, enough of my dad jokes at the beginning. Smash up the likes and subscribe button, or just tap them gently on your iPhone devices, especially if it's an Android. So today we are looking at the monthly chart here on Bitcoin. No new all-time highs statistically speaking in August and September, and looking at when the most likely probability of a new all-time high is as well. So nice quick video today. So guys, if you're in Australia, there's 100 free tax reports for you if you use the link in the top of the video description. CoinLink connects to over 300 exchanges, plenty of other hardware wallets as well. There's 24/7 customer support and an Australian-based team, plus it's free to sign up. So if you use the link in the video description, 30% off for everyone, and for the first 100 Aussie users, because it's tax time, you'll get a free tax report. If you have multiple tax years to do, one of them will be free and the other ones will be discounted. So make sure you use that link and get those one of the 100 free tax reports. All right, guys, let's get back to today's video. Quick update on Bitcoin. It did crash down. We're currently sitting in the support zone. Remember, we looked at this yesterday. So 20,700 up to 21,700. And you can see how well it works in these support zones that we have covered here on the channel. What I mean by that is the volume starts to come in at those levels that we pre-identified. So we identified this as being a zone based on the history that the chart has already shown. And you can see where the stopping volume just starts to come in. And what stopping volume is where the market price slows down on that drop, or you could flip it in reverse if we're going up into a bullish market. It slows down here because we're going short, and the closes start to come in around that particular zone. So we've slightly overrun the 50% level at 21,400. We are coming up to test that level now from the underside. We need to get back above that for the bulls to keep the momentum running hot into that 25K again. However, if we do hold up here for too long, then we're probably going to see that downside, and we're going to test these lows again at 20,700, 20,800. And that, of course, is that previous weekly swing low as well. So that's coming more back onto the macro frame for Bitcoin in the short term. Now, no new all-time highs. This is something that I looked at in this video back here that essentially did trigger a little, quite a few people in terms of the title. But Bitcoin's entering one of the worst months for crypto traders. This is just data from the charts. It's not necessarily a FUD or a clickbait title. It literally is some of the worst times for basically DCA investors. Definitely the worst time for them because they get sucked in and then spat back out. Trading can be difficult because the bars are overlapping, meaning the price ranges are quite tight and small. So it's just more difficult than if the market is free flowing up or down. That's a lot easier to trade when there is a clear trend direction. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here for the longer term analysis. Now, first up, no new all-time highs. Here is the data here, pretty straightforward. August, all-time highs, 1 out of 12. We had 12 years now of data. August has only had one all-time high, and it had to have already been in an all-time high for August to make a new all-time high. As for September, it's basically 0, because I'll show you where that one is, but basically 0 out of 12. So the most difficult period here, this is going back 13 days ago to this particular video, Bitcoin entering one of the worst months for crypto. Looking at this right here, September 0, we have not been, September has never broken out into a new all-time high. Unless you include back in 2010 when there basically wasn't much data anyway. So this is September, August is the first bar, September is the next one, and it basically went up and then came back down to the same price range. What is more likely? So I want to throw some hopium on here based on data in the charts. We know the news is always late and doesn't give us any good, real good information. The chart tells us here, October, this is screaming into a new all-time high. You can see this is lovely to say. Bitcoin 2010 it was 18 cents the high, and then October was 20 cents. So it broke into a new all-time high in October, again in November. December was a smaller month, then January, February. March was a smaller month, broke again in April, May, and June. We've seen something similar in this particular bull market. October broke out, but it wasn't a new all-time high. November just managed to get a new all-time high on some exchanges and a little lower in others. That was November 2020. December broke into a new all-time high. January broke into a new all-time high. February had a new all-time high. March had a new all-time high. And April had a new all-time high. So if we continue to keep hitting all-time highs, eventually the market has to roll over. But a lot of people weren't expecting it back then because, as always, retail gets in late. And this particular period of the market is the most important to remain in, especially if you're looking to dollar cost average into something longer term, because this is where things, I think, are going to get boring. It's going to seem like Bitcoin dies. And you can bet your bottom dollar I'll have some sort of title like that coming up, because I do believe we'll get some sort of feeling of Bitcoin dying where it just goes a little bit quiet and slow. 2021, October, new all-time high. November, new all-time high again. So statistically speaking, August and September are not great months to break into new all-time highs, especially when they are so far under the previous old all-time high, and the market has not broken into a new all-time high, because the only time that it did it was back in 2017 when the market was into a raging bull market. And then even so, September basically reversed the market again. August had a peak of 4,764, and then September got into a new all-time high here at 4,977. So there is one, I would say that's the one there, but again, we basically broke back down. I don't really like including 2010 because there really wasn't any data to play from here. And from the 2017, even September still held the market up, meaning there was a pause in the prices. It just couldn't keep going with that momentum, even though August was a good month. So what we're currently seeing is early in the month, August was racing to new high levels for this period. We could see July had a peak of 24,675, and August has been 25,200. So it did get to a new peak, but we've now just come back down. And so I think September may be a little bit sideways as well. Potentially we test some lower prices here. We don't know yet, but one thing we do know is the 5-week period up, this is for ETH and many other cryptocurrencies, has played out relatively well now. This is now confirmed. We were waiting on the low to be broken on the weekly chart for Ethereum. That low is 1,656. Just in the last 12 or so hours, Ethereum broke to 1,603. So the timing analysis here has worked out very, very well. We've seen ETH break down and then cause the swing top to come in, and now we'll be searching for a swing bottom. Remember from yesterday's video, so if you haven't seen the one 2 weeks ago and the one from yesterday, I'll leave a link to this, the playlist at the end of this video, so stick around for that and click on it. We're looking specifically at where that safe point is. Now this is all sort of like scary titles for new people. Definitely sounds scary, but this is the critical period coming up, I think, over the next 2 to potentially 6 months. It sounds like an extremely long time, but remember what I said earlier on, the market will get quiet. I'm betting on that, and a dead feeling. We haven't run up very hard, very far. So we're going to get this sort of quite dead feeling. This is coming towards the end of the bear market, moving into an accumulation period. It has to get dead, that sort of dead feeling, in order to bring that energy together to pump the market up. Don't go anywhere in cryptocurrency if you want to make it to the old millionaire crypto riches, okay? This is the period where we start to build up those positions. So ETH, whether we get that higher low here at 12 or 1300, that's going to be a nice key. I'd love to see it not much lower than 1300. If it breaks past 1000, which is that swing low, the weekly swing low, if you want to know what that is, this is in the top of the video description. Gann swing indicator. This helps me identify the trend. Underneath 1000 is a little bit more sticky. It's not going to be a great area for ETH in the shorter to medium term. Of course, longer term, I still think ETH is going to break past 4,000 eventually, but it might take a little bit longer if it breaks down from that $1,000 level. Okay, so around that 13, I'd say 13 to 1,400, because 14 was the previous all-time high. That's going to be a good place for a higher low to form for a bullish move up. Okay, so it hasn't happened yet. I'm waiting for that confirmation, and I want to see the market start to move up again from that point. Timing analysis, ETH worked out very well. 5 weeks, it happened to fall into that. That helps me out a lot because it makes me look good. So we're going to look forward to see where the next 5-week period from that is. Maybe we go down 1 or 2 weeks and we start to move up again to that 50% level, okay? So let's continue to focus on the timing analysis there for ETH, and of course for BTC, no chance of a new all-time high here for August or September based on the data of the last 12 years. I would expect a new all-time high in quarter 4 or quarter 1. That's what the market has shown in history, and of course it can run over and spill into quarter 2. So quarter 4, 1 or 2. Obviously it's a huge part of the year, but looking back, I would then narrow it down again to around quarter 4 or quarter 1. And the other piece we need to worry about is this 200-week moving average. Should we get a close under this level again, this is going to spell more pressure on the price for Bitcoin, because it hasn't happened very much in history, if at all, if you wanted to consider this little bar here in August of 2015. It's the only time that's really closed on or around that 200-week moving average. It's $2 under. And then the next month it is basically just closed under, and then we pushed back higher again. So we're going to keep an eye on that over the next couple of months to see if we can get that move out into October, which for the most bullish, optimistic, hopium slamming at you at the end of this video is that October tends to be a reasonably good month. It starts to bring us back to life. Not all the time, as you can see for 2018, it's not the greatest, but you look after here, you got October 2020, you got October 2021, you've got October 2019, at least stopped the downtrend and pushed it up. You know, the market's pushing down and it was able to reverse that. October into 2017. October 2016 was also a good month here. So we can look back at history, and October has relatively been quite good. So let's keep in the bunker here probably for the next 6 or so weeks, see where that September low comes in, and then from that point we can start to really put our bullish shoes on. Probably, if that is the case, I dare say the sentiment is going to be bad. The lows don't form on good sentiment. The sentiment will probably be bad at those times. You can expect all of the same sort of news headlines coming out: inflation, interest rate rises, the troubles in China with the property market, bankruptcies if there are any going on, wars. You'll expect all of those things. Rising commodity prices. Expect the worst at the lows, and then watch the market turn around from that point. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to follow the journey here on the channel, and don't miss a beat. Of course, Coinly for the Aussie guys, 100 free reports for you using those links down below, and everyone else 30% off any of your tax time reports using Coinly. Guys, I'll see you at the next video. Until then, peace out.